Ok, va a ser el doctor Villanueva y el doctor Sherena, nos van a hablar acerca de unas cosas y después comenzamos la punta de pilas, ¿les parece?
Buenas tardes. Doctor Villarreal. Si puede venir aquí el doctor aquí con nosotros, ese es el encargado de salud de la organización, ¿verdad?
I want to thank Dr. Scarrera for his attention. He's part of the committee. The committee works to know what's going on. For example, in this school or any public school, every public school has the opportunity to know what is going on in their own school. This is a report Dr. Scarrera has to prepare in conjunction with parents like you. So this report, so I want to thank people here and him for everything that he has done. Okay, good afternoon. The original plan is that I was going to give you like a 30-minute lecture, but this is more interesting than my lecture. So today this is going to be a practice with parents and the chief of the committee. So enjoy and please speak a lot, share a lot. Give him an applause, please. So I'm here, I'm Dr. Larea. I studied in Chula Vista School in the north of the county. I have been working in this committee for 25 years. I was superintendent, and I used to work in schools where children attended, and then I went to middle school. But I have roots of farmer. My parents are from California. I grew up here in Sacramento and in many places. I have been in many places. My mom is 87 years old. She lives with me. My dad passed away 6 years ago. So this process is long. Let me tell you what happens. So we live in a group, and then with this list, I have this type of work. There are the principals. There is a principal from Los Angeles, was some other parts of LA. There is a teacher in San Diego. I have another teacher. He's bilingual. So we met together. We met last Sunday. We started working. We prepared a report for your school. We read last month that report, and we have questions. We want to check what's going on. That is my job. Now, what I want to do is that I want to see that teachers here in the elementary school are working well, are doing their job. They don't pay me. They don't pay for my meals or anything. So I have done this kind of visits for over 10 years. So now I want to hear from you. Why did you decide to have your children here in this school? Why are you here? Um, I'm here because got interested in a bilingual school. Today, well, I speak Spanish, so I think the opportunity for my son to learn another language like English and another was good for me. Okay, someone else? I live 5 minutes away, and in San Diego, I got this school as a recommendation, and for me, this is one of the best. My children have learned a lot. Okay, very good. Who else? My name is Paola. I have a 7-year-old boy. So I researched in internet and I saw a very good comments from the school, and also some people recommended it, and also because they offered another language. Okay, someone else? I have a 14-year-old boy. When he got in the school, uh, I agree with the other mom. I'm super happy. My son didn't speak English at all, and he started growing emotionally and in his language, and he speaks very well. My parents are from Durango, but they have lived here, well, they lived here in US. I I grew up in US. Sometimes people speak in English and Spanish, and I don't forget Spanish. Please be patient with your children because sometimes I think in English and speak in Spanish or the other way around. It's difficult to hear, to speak, to think. My dad, he was a farmer. He was old enough, and he told me, "Son, let's go for the tomatoes in English." And so, and he speaks in English. He spoke in English, but that's life. I see people at school. For example, a sandwich is an English word. It's not chicken nuggets or there are words in English. Sometimes I don't feel that I belong here, but I don't belong there, you know? Uh, I have never forgotten Spanish. That is difficult. So, as parents, be patient, but also don't get desperate. As long as you keep going, moving forward, your children will succeed and you will succeed also in learning English. Part of this group, they are, well, it's like a sound study or ELAC. Have you heard of this? What is your participation in these committees? We are assessing the school. We are assessing the money, the program. What kind of programs have you been taking part of? I only belong to the ELAC, but this is brand new. The ELAC has not been here for 10 years. It's brand new. But before that, what programs did you take part of? Did you know information or was there were there invitations? Well, to be honest, I received email, but it was not very easy for me to understand. Some words, for example, like LPAC, for me was difficult to understand. Yeah, because of the language, right? Yes, and as I told you, the school complied with everything. But for me, it was difficult to understand what was it about or so. Okay, we have a third language in education. We have LSSE, LPAC, LMM. It's complicated to understand all these abbreviations or acronyms. What about the other people? Have you been involved in other committees or programs? Just tell me yes or no. PTS, the group of parents associations. Okay. DLAC for English learners. Okay. SUSE Council. They are in charge of the money and the funds. Okay. SSE, SSC, SSSC. She said SSSC. SS, yes. So, WASC, part of this group, they go together, they hold meetings. Oh, well, I received the email, but I didn't come. But you received an email, right? Yes, okay. So you received information. Yes. What else? Also, there was a survey. We received a survey of what we, do you mean the night school? School at night? Have you come? Is there a night school? Yes, there's a parents' university. Oh, have you been in the parents' university? I am not the principal. Don't worry about it. What else? Tell me, do you talk to the principal or a leader from the school? Not for complaints, but just talks. Yeah, raise your hand. Okay. So the purpose is that you can be part of this process. In 3 years, we will come back. In 3 years, I will, maybe me, maybe another, but we will visit you. I am old enough for this job, but maybe another guy. So some of your children are, or by in 3 years, there will be the high school, and maybe some of your children will be there. So, see, I want you to tell me if you have been taking part of the SSC or the other programs or the other committees. So, the superintendent of San Diego, I want to know what do you want from the principals and the committees and so on. Another question. Do you receive information from the school in English and Spanish? Yes. What is the format? Digital? Yes, by email. Okay, is it in two languages? Three languages. Oh, okay. Yeah, in German. Is it every week? Yes, every Friday. From elementary or middle school? Elementary. Okay, what else? Do you receive it every week? Yes. Okay, from the middle school? Yes. What else? They send the information in three different languages, but it's just one email, right? Yes. Sorry, what? Let's let me give you an example. If you go to my school every week, you receive an email, either from Thursday or Friday, and also a call from me, electronic information in English and Spanish. And there is a link for a newsletter with pictures, photos, and more videos. Also, a text like a reminder to remind you about information. Do you receive something similar? Yes. Tell me, what do you like from this school the most? Let's not talk about teachers. Maybe I don't want you to complain about a teacher specifically. We're talking about the school. We're talking about experiments. Sorry, experiences. What do you like from this school? Well, I like that they teach us. I like they teach my child to introduce himself and also to give presentations. This helped my son to feel self-confidence and to get more prepared and he likes it. This is one of the things I like the most. Okay, what else? Well, I like in middle school, I like when my girl comes from school because she tells me what she learned and she told me that she wants to study medicine, so she's very interested in science. And sometimes she comes back home telling me what she saw or she learned at school in the science class. So I understand that she's well taught. What about the others? I like they find a way. I have three children at school, by the way, and for example, one or the other, when we go to the doctor, they, for example, the doctor tells me bring him at any moment, but I understood. So I don't want my children to miss school because they learn a lot. So I take my children to the appointments, to the doctor's appointments, uh, in the afternoon. And also I like. Okay. I like that the school is very secure, very safe. They help people with the traffic in the morning and in the afternoon. I like that the skills of teachers and professors are very high, and I think that this is the reason. Well, I have a daughter. She for example, the professor is Marine. Is a Marine. Was a Marine. Now my daughter is a Marine. Is it an inheritance from the mom? No. I think we are very proud of the educational side, and I would like the school to have more stars. I think it's a very good institution. So what about here? Is everything super cool or I don't want you to complain in the future. Well, some people don't like to take part like me, but I am in the backstage helping or supporting. I think they have done a great job. I like the school very much. I didn't hear her. What? Laura? Well, I like it because it's very safe, and I don't know if it's the principal or who, but they always call the students by their name, uh, and I like that. They say bye, Josh, or bye, or whatever. So that is very important for me. Teachers are very kind and they are always attentive. Okay, very good. What about here? My son has been since elementary and it's very helpful. He has been supported to speak through the programs, the English programs, and since he was very young, teachers helped him a lot. I like to know what they are taught, what they learn. Communication, I think is very good. Okay. Hi. I like that from the beginning there has always been direct communication with teachers. Anything that happens here, they send an email or they send us a notification, and I think it's very well because this is a base of a good communication at school, and I am always also interested that they are introducing their traditions, for example, a night and all these activities for example, for Germany. And what is the site? Elementary or middle? No, it's kindergarten. Also, the art is very good. Yes, actually, yesterday I was looking the art at the art in elementary and today in middle school, and it's very strong, a very strong area. Teachers not only work hard, but principals, I cannot hear them. I I work uh, close to another school, and I don't like the uniform. The, but here, teachers and principals and the staff are always 100%. I cannot understand her very well. Okay, now I will tell this very honest. On the other side, with a small group, on Sunday when we arrived, the PTSA, they said that there was no communication. They want more communication. They said that there was conflict, there were issues, and that's what I wanted to verify, to check here. It was a small group, but why do you think so? Why are they saying this? It's a PTS, it's a group of parents, they are from elementary school. What's going on? They are the problematic parents. Sometimes parents want more. We sometimes think that it's not enough. I think the staff is always paying attention to children. Since the moment my son arrived, teachers have been very kind and they are always paying attention for children when they go out from school or they are about to cross the street, and if something happens, they call. I think sometimes parents overreact or they look for issues or problems. Okay, well, I think we all are taking part. This is the first time we are taking part. But in the DLAC, so is this the first meeting that you have a great attendance? Yeah, he's singing. Yes, I think parents have to get involved more often. They should get involved more often. That is super important because imagine if you have heard what I heard and you feel like upset, you might get, sorry, the information I might get for my report uh, would have been like the complaints from Sunday. That's why I am asking you to be part of groups, to get involved in groups because your voice is very important. If you don't speak, we cannot hear you. We are not from here. I can, for example, I came here to give you like an orientation for teachers or the principals. For example, I might tell them, uh, parents want more. It's not enough for parents. Like the communication with parents is not enough. They want more. So I have been in this job for 25 years. I cannot just say what they tell me on just one day. I need to know more. And also my team. We joined together every night, preparing reports or preparing 30 pages for the report and so on. But what I hear, what I listen to from people is what I write in my report. As you were telling, as you were saying, for example, I have met some teachers or parents complaining, saying that everything is bad, but other parents say no, it's not everything bad. It's a balance. That's why I know we are all busy. I understand. I get you. I think sometimes we cannot. I cannot hear her. I think education is essential. For example, as parents, we tell our children, that's why I send you to school. So I have a doctor's degree. I have been studying for 25 years. I have a 14-year-old son. The other day, I went to his room. I know all the strategies. Well, not all the strategies. So I removed the door from my child. We're humans. And this can happen to any expert person. And my son is struggling. Is he small? I have a small son. He has been here for 2 months in the hospital. The psychologist told me, your son needs special education because I thought he was a rebel and rude. But now it's a struggle for me. And God help me. And thank God, the education I have provided has been successful because my kid is has one of the main places at school. No, I don't want. I will not ignore what people told me on Sunday, last Sunday, because this is something serious. For example, I will not say, oh, I will just pay attention to the parents from Tuesday. No, the people who spoke last Sunday is valuable, are valuable. I will take into consideration what you are mentioning, but also what they mentioned last Sunday. I think the school is always sending information, but if we don't pay attention or if we're not attentive to that, well, sometimes we complain that, but it's because we are not paying attention to what they send. I just want to say something. Well, thank God, my son has been guided very well from the beginning. I can speak marvels about the school, but I have had the chance to be with other parents, mothers and fathers, from children that have been since kindergarten. Maybe some of the kids are more hyperactive, and it's not bad, they are kids. But the teacher, for example, a teacher may talk to a parent about the students or their child behavior. And more, there are some mothers or parents that have taken out their children from school uh, because they don't like to hear from the teachers. For example, I told my son, this is your second year at school, in this school, so pay attention. But I think not all children are the same. I have realized that some parents and also their children, it's not just that the parent is speaking to the teacher and so on. No, but there are children with a specific behavior because I have always been present when the father takes his child to the clinic, or for example, there are some parents that take the child by hand. That was one of the complaints that now in elementary school they don't allow you to get in school, and I think it's great. I think it's very good because with all these things that are happening, I lost audio. I cannot hear. Hello? Hello? Oh, yeah.
Gracias. Esa ¿cómo? Acreditación, estoy cansado. Acreditación. Ah, una vitamina. Acreditación es típicamente en
So,
California, en
usually
Nevada,
in California, Nevada, Hawaii, Arizona,
preparatorias, las high schools. Ese es un
that's
proceso típico para ellos.
that's
El
a
WAPS,
typical process, the WAC,
WAPS.
for this kind of schools.
Los charters, que son
But
ustedes,
the charters,
¿verdad? Son
because
públicos.
you are a charter,
Es un proceso,
are
esos
public. It's a process.
presidentes que ahorita el mero encargado
For example, the president stamps,
ese sello es importante para
and
las
that stamp
promociones,
is important
ponerlos aquí,
for the promotion,
y eso se
and
usa en las secundarias,
and
las secundarias,
this is
preparatorias,
proceed
bachilleros,
for middle school and high school
pero
for
también hay una
charter.
ventaja,
But there is an
si usas
advantage
el mismo sello
that
en
with
la
this
preparatoria,
stamp, or to use the stamp for
en
the
una escuela
high
pública
school, but
tradicional
in a
de los Estados
traditional
Unidos,
public
vamos a
school,
suponer, eso sí,
they don't look for
váyase
this.
a la Unified, váyase a
So
cualquier distrito
if you go to
tradicional,
any public
ellos
traditional school,
definitivamente buscan el sello para las
they
primeras
usually
nacionales,
don't look for the
preparatoria,
stamp
¿verdad?
for the elementary school.
Preparatoria.
They just look for this in the
Porque
high school.
no buscan
Why?
perfección.
because it's not usual. And to be honest, that for high school, it is a requirement to be prestigious school. That's why this stamp is super important for high school. But for charters, it is important to look for this stamp to promote it. For example, not having, they don't look to have just two different schools, but one, and that's why they are looking for this stamp. Now, they need, it is required the wax for elementary. So I attended school classes for these students. So so now we are looking for these. So by the time the high school was opened, we will create another group. Another group of what? Wax. Wax. Please look for this information. They are called callbacks. It's for you to speak and understand. We have a personal comment. Oh, personal. Oh, we have a comment in Zoom. Oh, hi. What other parents have told me is that things in middle school are more difficult and are different from elementary school. Maybe PTA parents have their children in junior school, in middle school. Well, the group from Sunday, they are representing elementary. Okay. How many people are there in Zoom? Four. So, in this process, that is a process to receive the wax. So, tomorrow we will conclude our visit from what, based on what we have seen and watched and heard. So tomorrow we will give the first report to the principal. So then, and also I have to give this to provide this to the commission of wax, and then we have to wait for 6 weeks, uh, and I have to, or they have to check what is the stamp this school will get. I can give you a recommendation. That is not my decision. It's the decision of the WAF's committee. So I just give my recommendation. I just mention why you decide one of the things or something. But at the after 6 weeks, the commissioner um, gives the final decision, and then we start working because every 3 years we come back to check if what we recommended is working, if you're applying our recommendation, and so. But we're not the policeman. It's because you are performing, you are working uh, on the arguments or agreements you've made. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your participation. So here there is some food. If you want to grab something, we will come back to the meeting. But I have a personal question. What made you come to this meeting today?
El idioma. ¿A ti te llegó el correo personal?
Let me. So we attended the first meeting. It was in English. It was difficult for us to understand. But this is in Spanish.
Ahora, le voy a hacer como el
So,
doctor Villarreal.
like Dr. Villarreal, what is the meeting you are? DLAC.
Siempre, y se los hago promesa mientras yo esté
DLAC, I can promise you, DLAC will always be in Spanish.
siempre va a haber
All those who have been in the four meetings, you have always heard in Spanish with a translation into English. So DLAC is always for children who speak German or Spanish or Russian. So DLAC will always be in Spanish, okay, with a translation into English. Yeah, well, you were sharing the reason you didn't come. To be honest, in a personal email, they they wrote that my son Alejandro was taking part. So I found it more individualized or customized because my son tells me everything, but I have never attended one of these meetings. I have always received emails and so, but general. But thank you very much for addressing to me. I also came because of the same reason. I received a personal email. In other times, I didn't feel it so personal. It was more general. So I said, okay, well, let's go. And I think that made me come. And not only in Zoom, because I feel that just the fact of having received an email with my name and the name of my child made me feeling like coming. So I think I feel more motivated to come. So definitely it was a change for me. There's another comment. Maybe this strategy has worked. We will pay more attention to these kind of details. Thank you. Well, at first I received a phone call. It was then I received an email, but I wasn't able to come in the previous meetings because of my job. But now I took the time. I decided to come. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for being part of this process. My name is Dr. Villarreal. Nice to meet you. And I think there is food. You can grab whatever you want. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you.
Ok, ya vamos a comenzar. Si están en las mesas de atrás, se pueden acercar un poco. Porque la pantalla no está funcionando, es el proyector, pero vamos a usar la tele, así que si la quieren ver, acérquense un poquito más. Si ustedes no me conocen, me
If
llamo...
you don't know me, my name is Laura.
O sea, soy nueva este año en Albert
I
Einstein.
am new this year in Albert Einstein.
Trabajo en la
I work in middle school. I work also in elementary. My colleague is Sean,
Mire González,
and also I am with Mrs. Gonzalez. I am an English and literature, English specialist and literature.
Em, bueno, esta tarde vamos a
So
discutir, bueno,
this
nada más
afternoon,
tenemos como menos de 20 minutos, así
we have less than 20
que
minutes,
terminar un poquito más rápido,
so
quizás
I'll
las
try
preguntas,
to speak
pero
faster,
vamos a dejar tiempo al final
but
de
we will
la
have
presentación,
time for questions and answers,
cualquier duda.
like the session, but at the end of this talk, okay?
Algo que vamos a discutir
Something
rápidamente
that we will
será
discuss
el
today
proyecto
is
GLAD.
the GLAD
GLAD
project. GLAD
es diseño de adquisición
is
guiada del
Guided Language Acquisition
GLAD lleva
Design.
35 años.
This
Es un
program
programa
has been
que
for 35 years,
ayuda
and it's a program that
los educadores, los
train
maestros y
educators
en el
and teachers
proceso de
in the
educar.
process
Y en middle school,
of
en la escuela secundaria, también en la escuela
it is in
básica,
middle school,
para
also in
recibir
elementary school,
apoyo de
to
GLAD,
receive
para
support
apoyar a nuestros estudiantes. Vamos a
and
ver
to
aquellos que
support
están
our
aprendiendo
students
inglés.
who are learning English.
Bueno, básicamente, ¿qué es?
Mainly,
GLAD
well, let me tell you
es
about
un
GLAD.
proceso de
It is a
adquirir un
process
segundo, tercer o
of
cuarto idioma.
acquisition of
Entonces,
a
como pueden
third or
ver,
fourth
es
language.
súper chiquito.
So as you may see,
Pero,
this is
por
super small.
ejemplo,
But for example,
podemos,
we can,
eh, bueno, es un proceso de hacer
it's a
puentes
process
entre dos idiomas. Así que,
to
por ejemplo,
create bridge
en la
between
escuela
both
básica
languages. For
tenemos
example, in
educación
elementary, we have a
bilingual de
program
alemán y de inglés.
for
Entonces, algo que
German, English,
usamos en GLAD
and
es
Spanish
crear
language.
conexiones
So
para
we
estudiantes
create
de ambos
connections for
idiomas.
our
Entonces,
students.
los maestros que han
So
recibido
for
instrucción
teachers
en
who
GLAD,
have received instructions from
desarrollo
GLAD
profesional,
in
también
the
educación,
professional development,
ayudan a nuestros
they
estudiantes
will be
como
able to
chicos
help the
que están
students
aprendiendo inglés como
uh,
segundo o
who
tercer
are
idioma.
learning English as a second or a third language.
Hacemos conexiones también
We create connections
en
also
español para los maestros que
in
son bilingües
Spanish
en español y
for
en inglés.
bilingual teachers.
La idea
I
es
lost connection.
que
So the
integramos
idea is that
GLAD en
we
cada
can
materia. O sea,
provide GLAD in every subject.
aquí en la escuela secundaria,
In middle school,
alemán, español son dos clases.
German and
Digamos
Spanish
que
are
todo
two
el día
classes.
no
Let's
enseñamos
say
alemán.
that
En la escuela básica tenemos educación
in a
básica,
typical
enseñamos
day, we
todos
don't
los
teach
idiomas.
everything
Pero la
in
idea es
German,
que
but the
por
idea
medio de GLAD,
is
los
that with
maestros en
GLAD
matemáticas,
support,
los maestros de
math
ciencias,
professors,
los
science
maestros de arte
professors,
pueden ayudar
arts
a los
professors
estudiantes
can help and
de
support
inglés
students to
apoyándolos con
acquire the
vocabulario,
English language, like with
idiomas, para
vocabulary
que
or
aprendan
conversation, uh,
inglés
so that they can
en
learn
diferentes
English in each subject.
okay. Además, vamos a
So
repasar los apoyos
we
académicos
also
que
will
tenemos en la
review
escuela
the
secundaria, middle
academic
school
support
y
we
escuela
have in
básica
middle school and
también
elementary school.
para sus hijos, para los
For
estudiantes que
this is for
aprenden inglés
your kids,
como su segundo idioma.
for students
También
who learn English
ofrecemos
as a second language.
English language
For English,
para los estudiantes que están
we
aprendiendo inglés.
receive
Lo que tenemos este año, que es
what
nuevo,
we have
es
this
el
year,
sexto
which is
periodo en
new,
la
is
escuela
the
secundaria.
sixth period in
En inglés
middle
le
school.
decimos flex period.
In English, we call it the flex period. We call it the flexible period. So basically, it's the last subject of the day. It lasts about 45 or 50 minutes, and it's a moment for students who need to learn more English, who need a more academic support, and it's 2 to 4 times in a week. So what we have tried is to, for example, to introduce reading or uh, more complex uh, subjects to help them. We have created groups of 5 students or 15 students. These kids, some of them are small or bigger. We have a teacher for each group to provide instruction, intensive instruction in elementary for those students who need to improve their English skills. We also offer the flex period from 2 to 4 times in a week. This means that students receiving the support 4 times in a week receive the more intensive support, and for other students, sometimes we work reading and writing support. So we try to help them or to take them out of the academic program, the typical academic program. So not all our students who are learning English as a second language are in this period, but the idea is that they can take advantage of this support to take part in, let's say, arts classes or other subjects. Me, I am offering during this class period, I am offering an intensive English class for new students. So today, right now, I have 2 students, and we work, for example, for some students, they need to learn the beginning of the language, but others require, for example, arts. Uh, like, for example, they receive instructions from me or from the teacher. In elementary, and the other specialists, we work with elementary children. We work in the learning center in literature and in the second floor. We mainly support students who are learning English as a second language to get a 1 or 2 level in ELPAC. These students need more intensive support. That's why we are supporting in reading and writing. And for some of them, this is a base, like to know how to read or to write. And to conclude, we need more support. So part of this group, we want to learn from you as parents. Tell me, what do you want to see in these kind of tools to support students more? I think we need to develop the English language, the academic support of English language in every subject. That means that we need to train or offer provide professional training to each teacher so that each teacher can provide the tools to every student in their class. It's not only in the class of English, but also in math, art, etc. What else? I think that's it. So to finish this session, We will take a time to break out in small groups. I want to I want you to tell us which are the supports you want to see for your child and other English learner students.
¿Alguna pregunta hasta ahorita?
Is there a question?
Todos estamos claros en los apoyos que les estamos dando a los niños.
Do you understand what are the supports received for by
Como
your
una
children?
nota,
Just
gracias a los
to
padres que han
make a comment.
asistido a
Thank
estas
you
citas
to
y
the
como
parents
podemos ver,
who have
las
attended
charlas que
this
teníamos
meeting.
para que Miss Powell y Miss
Thank
Laura
you,
nos
Miss
ayudaran
Paul, Miss Laura,
que los niños que no hablan
for helping
inglés
us,
tengan ese
like for
para
example,
darles
for
su
helping
apoyo y
your
ayudarles
children
en esa
to get this support as English learners. So we will make groups uh, from 3 to 5 people, and these are the questions. Which are the support you want to see for your children and other English learner students? And which are the concerns about the support of the English language in Albert Einstein? So just let's take just 3 minutes, please, to do this. Thank you.
Ok, hay cambio de planes. Creo que me van a decir a mí si gustan levantar la mano y vamos viendo para hacer las anotaciones porque es muy importante su, su participación para cada uno de nosotros para seguir ayudando a avanzar aún más a ILA y a las lenguas.
So for us, it is very important to receive your comments. So, do you want to say something about the support you want to see for your children? Well, they support my son, my children, the 3 of them. They are taken out from their classroom twice a week, I guess. And after school, I take them to the library. There are other teachers. So I take them. So this year they have increased, they have improved a lot. So I take my children in the library. There, my children are the only ones there from Monday to Thursday, and on Saturday the library is open for them to read and for any student. But I only see my children and also me as a parent, so that they cannot get bored. Thank you very much. Is there something else? Well, is it possible to get supported for children to apply their knowledge at school? Maybe reading support. I don't know, let's say they have to write 5 sentences or something that they can apply in their house. Because I think every kid has different needs and skills. So I would like to receive indications for activities at home. So maybe activities of reading or writing. Okay. Hi. I would also like to support. We have commented this in the other meetings. As parents, we should also read with our children in the afternoon or tell them to read aloud for us. That is helpful for them. But this support is just for reading.
La ayuda que están proporcionando
So the support you are providing,
es para los niños que están aprendiendo inglés.
this is
En
for
general,
children
¿tienen
who are
algún
learning
idioma
English.
y estén aprendiendo inglés o
For
español
example,
porque
children who are learning or speak German or Spanish and are learning English.
A couple questions that are in the chat.
Los niños en kinder y no me habla mucho, sé que me dicen que está
My children don't speak a lot in English. They tell me that in classroom they learn English, but I would like to know what they work with during the week so that we can reinforce at home. I would like to know what are the areas they need to reinforce. There are small groups from of German, for example, and they practice. I cannot hear the person because she doesn't have a microphone.
Sobre los que ven en la semana, por decir,
So,
mi niña ven
for
primero.
example, my son is in elementary in first grade, and they send information of what they will learn during that week. And when they are taken out from school, from classroom, for example, I know I received the email for the classes, and that's how I know what they are learning during that week. I would like to know about their progress. Well, I, as far as I understand, parents want to know what is the progress of their children, what is the academic support they are receiving while we take them out from classroom, right? Yes, because sometimes my child tells me, I don't remember, but the if I receive the information from the email, well, I might remind him or her. I have a question. As a specialist, I don't have my own class to work with students. What contact methods do you prefer? Do you prefer email or text message or a phone call? Or I prefer text message. Also email. I also can see it in my agenda. I cannot hear because she doesn't have a mic. So there's another question in Zoom.
No logra la reclasificación.
My concern is that my child doesn't get the reclassification. So as we have mentioned in other meetings, a child has to get 4 in the cumulative test, and also he has to pass the CAS exam. So you can see the recording of the last meeting. There is a requirement of the cumulative test and the requirements to be reclassified. That means that they will not be the children will not be part of the English learners anymore. And also reading and writing. Florencia wrote that, but I want to know what is the question. So there's another question. Which are your concerns about the support of English language? I think you have already mentioned them. Well, for my son, when I have this doubt, I write the teacher and she replies. Like if it's for reading or writing, she replies. So that is very helpful to ask the teacher directly, and they always send the answer. They send a post-it, Uh, when I have a concern, I send a post-it to the teacher and she responds. She answers. I think that would be all. Thank you very much for your answers, your ideas. We will be working as a team. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Digo yo. Muchas gracias por su asistencia. La verdad es un honor tener.
Thank you for your attendance. It's a pleasure having you. Next meeting will be May the 7th. So I hope to see you next meeting, and I will send you an email. As I told you, these meetings are super important. I am a parent, I am a mother. I know how difficult is this, but it's wonderful to create a community of people with the people with the same concerns, from German to English, from Spanish to English, any language into English. We have all of us have been there, so it's great to get to know you, to learn to remember your name. As you can see, you can these are some photos of the family and the students, and this way we can start creating a community of children speaking another language besides English. We had a raffle, but unfortunately, the person with the tickets didn't come. So next week, the next meeting, we will have the raffle. Please write your name in the list, the attendance list, please. This is one. The next meeting will be in elementary. Paola will give you a phone call. I will be sending emails. So Florencia was suggesting reading and writing for the activities for home. And Maria is saying it's always very important to keep supporting our teachers, the teachers who take out our children for 1 or 2 hours from classroom. This has been very impactful for my child. For example, teachers send emails also telling me this kid doesn't speak English that well or that much. He needs support. So remember, your children are the most important. All the meetings are always at 4:30. We usually start with the presentation and the meeting. Today we received the WASP person and the WASP presentation, but we're always here to support you. So 4:30 to 5 is the meeting. I just have one advice for parents. Please ask your children how was school every day. Just once, my son told me that some girls uh, did him bullying because of the language. I didn't pay or I didn't give great importance to that because it was just once. But if it was going to be more often, I would have talked about this to teachers. So never give up asking your children about their the school day. That is my habit, and that's what I do with my children, my child. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you. Goodbye.